Ladies and gentlemen, please give a warm welcome to Scott Williams.
Hello, I made it. Nobody told me. Hello, nice to see you. Are you the paparazzi there? So, have you talked among yourselves yet? Have you worked out a good joke? I mean, I'm a blonde, right? Many of you are out there. Right? And I love blonde jokes. And yet political correctness tells us we can't tell blonde jokes anymore. I mean, I love the one about the blonde that was amazed to find AM radio works in the afternoon. It's a simple joke, but it's one you can lock away in your head for a rainy day. You know, political correctness tells us you're not short anymore, you're vertically impaired, and you're not stupid but cranially spacious. You're not dead, you're metabolically challenged. There's no ugly people anymore in the 90s, which has probably come as a great relief to you. No, because you're not ugly, you're under attractive. That's how they count you. It makes it feel so much better. Don't put the camera on him. Now, he's not really ugly, you're a very handsome man. You can't call a woman easy in the 90s, you know that, don't you? She's horizontally accessible. You can't even call a man a wanker, which is a traditional Australian term. He's an owner-operator. These are all one-liners that you can lock away in your head. They can be Irish jokes, like the Irish helicopter that crashed into a cemetery and they recovered 792 bodies. Simple jokes that appeal to the people out there that hit a funny bone. And that's not hard to remember, is it there? Irish helicopter into the cemetery, 742 bodies. You can make it 792 bodies. The point is you live in Australia and this is the greatest country in the world for a sense of humour. Would you agree with me? My personal favourite, you know, like the bloke who walks into the pub with one thong on. The barman said, "Do you lose a thong?" He said, "No, I found this one." 3 men that ended up at the pearly gates. There was an Englishman, there was an American, and a salt-of-the-earth Aussie. And St. Peter said, "It's Christmas Eve. The only way you can get in here tonight is if you've got something on yourself to do with Christmas." And the Englishman said, "Just a moment. I always carry a bit of holly with me this time of the year in this little box. What about that?" And St. Peter said, "That'll get you in. Go on through." Now, the Aussie's rummaging through his overalls and he can't find anything, but the American, he finds a little mistletoe in case he sees a little filly. No, I know the morals aren't there, but it doesn't matter. That gets him in anyway. And the only one left was the Aussie. And St. Peter said, "What about you?" He said, "I don't know, old son. I don't think I've got anything that'll get me in." The bloke said, "St. Peter, you've got nothing to do with Christmas at all." And the bloke said, "Nah." "Oh, wait a minute. What about these?" And do you know what he held up? A pair of ladies' underwear. Black lace knickers. And St. Peter was shocked as you are right now. St. Peter turned and said, "What do you think that's got to do with Christmas?" And the bloke said, "These are carols." Girls, do me a favour. Picture your men's performance in bed and parallel it to an automobile. Do that now, right now, girls. Think about not you two because you're 15, but think about your man's performance in bed and parallel it out to a car, any kind of car. And do you know, I said, "Put your hands up and tell me." One woman put her hand up and said, "My husband's a Rolls Royce." I said, "Was that yours as well? Was it a Rolls Royce?" I said, "Really?" She said, "Yes, he's big and powerful and a smooth ride." I said, "Well, that's fantastic." Another woman put her hand up and said, "My husband's a Ferrari. Is that your man?" I said, "A Ferrari, really?" She said, "Yeah, 0 to 100 in 10 seconds. Last but not least, a 70-year-old woman, God bless her, put her hand up there and said, "Please, you know, my husband is a vintage car." And I said, "A vintage car?" She said, "Yeah, he only rallies once a year and then you've got to start him by hand." Last year I did a poem. I can't remember which one I did, but whatever one I did last year, I'll do a different one tonight. Since we've got a couple of minutes, because I have a real flair for poetry. I know what you're thinking, surely not another gift. But it's true. I sit down to write poetry and it just spills out of me. Like a woman said the other day, "It's a cushy job being a doctor, but if she knew the real truth, I bet it would have shocked her." See that? Doctor, shocked her. It's a gift. A woman said the other day, "It's a cushy job being a doctor, but if she knew the real truth, I bet it would have shocked her." She said, "An easy life is what you've got, a healthy income and all for what? For seeing a few people well on their way and then home in the Mercedes at the end of the day. If only that were true. In fact, here's what I'll do. Take all of you behind closed doors and glimpse this doctor's day so that you might realise, Loretta, for us it's not all play. Take a Monday morning. Every week it is the same. At 8:30 and never late, Mr. Kirby's here again. Now, Mr. Kirby's not a bad bloke, but he's always got a sore throat. And it's not just a case of opening and say, ah! No, because Kirby, well, he's 99. And he proudly states, these teeth are mine. Now, while the teeth can all be seen, their colour is a furry green. Picking up a torch and peering in's like looking in a wheelie bin. Now, I know Mr. Kirby's forgetful. He says it's from the war, but I'd swear they hadn't seen a clean since 1944. At 9 o'clock, another knock and the Johnson woman wanders in, covering the bone, 30 stone of flesh below the chin. A big girl. She really is. Born on the 1st of February, the 2nd and the 3rd. A big, big girl. She takes a seat upon my bed, not on the chair, for that she dreads. See, on her last visit in the chair, she sat, and for 40 minutes she was trapped. I pushed, I poked, I pressed and pried, and I tried to see the funny side. No, see, that she ate was not her sin, but what she ate, it gave her wind. Truly, with each push there came a sound. My head was spinning round and round. And then, at last, with a gush of air, the Johnson woman left the chair. Out my window she went with ease, across the road and over trees. And when at last touchdown came, boom, that poor woman's never been the same. She's only got a glimpse of my chair to take on that hypnotic stare, and a smell of fear just fills the air. It's almost more than a doctor can bear. To sum it up, let me put it this way. As a doctor, I see many patients each day. For the beautiful woman with the aching chest, I really try to do my best. And I felt for the man with the swollen duva that had come to blows with a hungry hoover. And I don't take seriously that sign on the wall that says I'm the greatest doctor of all. For the early days, I'll never forget when they made me a doctor, though I trained as a vet. Thank you, folks.